So there is this article that I'm about to read to you that just shows you that we as black people, we're going to have to drop this charade that we really support and love Barack Obama. At this point, there's no love to give to this man anymore, or any support for that matter, because he is sounding more like his white mother and white grandmother each and every day. As a matter of fact, he sounds worse now that he's out of office than when he was in office, because now that he's out of office, he really can't seem to help himself with the rhetoric in which he speaks. So you see right here, you see the title, and this picture that they use for him is so perfect for the title. It says, Obama says the bling, the women, the money, and rap music could explain Trump's increased appeal to some rappers and black male voters. He's sounding more and more like the damn gynocracy nowadays. Quiet as it's kept. But they always keep talking about the increase of black men voting for 45, but they always leave out black women. They say, well, they don't even do that. I was going to say, well, it only went up like 1 or 2%. It was an increase regardless. It wasn't the same as it was 4 years ago, or it didn't decrease from 4 years ago. So what's the issue? But they always got to say, well, the men. That's why I say they get whatever they ask for under Biden and Harris. Because Professor Black Truth recently did a video where you got them now out here looking for a job or some kind of a handout that they're not going to get because they didn't demand anything for their vote. But they got mad at Ice Cube for not going to Joe Biden when they said wait until after the election. Now y'all are realizing that Cube was right and y'all were dead wrong, you dummies. Good luck getting that job that you're hoping to get, because I have a feeling that it's going to be immigrants that's going to get those jobs that you're hoping for. You might end up working for them. But let's get in. Let me refocus back to here, because I have a feeling I'm about to go in. But let's see what they're talking about here. In an interview with The Atlantic, former President Barack Obama offered a theory on why 45 improved his support among black men in the 2020 election compared to 2016. According to NBC's exit poll over the past few elections, President-elect Joe Biden received the support of 80% of black male voters compared to 82% for Hillary Clinton in 2016, along with 95% and 87% for Obama in 2008 and 2012, respectively. It's interesting. People are writing about the fact that Trump increased his support among black men in the 2020 presidential election, and the occasional rapper who supported Trump, Obama said. I have to remind myself that if you listen to rap music, it's all about the bling, the women, and the money. First of all, you rotten bastard. Wasn't it you that was attracting all kinds of rappers back during 2008? Like, you even had some coming to the White House just to chill, not to discuss policy, but to just chill like y'all were family that hadn't seen each other in years. Like it was a family reunion. You even had Jeezy create a song after you won, or when you won, called My President is Black. And I know you had heard it. Like, think about all those black people you had performing at your inauguration. And most of them, a lot of them were quote unquote rappers. This right here, this is a slap in the face to the people in the hip hop industry. And it's also definitely a slap in the face to black men as a whole. But you're going to have some people out there that are going to come in and run interference and say this, that, and the third. But I bet you if he was talking about black women, they would have shut his whole thing down. But if it's a black man and the insults are coming in our direction, mind you, I didn't even vote for 45. Y'all want to know who I voted for? I voted for Petty P. That's what I did. I went right on that ballot, and right on the right end, I said PETTYP, period. And kept it moving and went more down ballot. And went about my day. That's who I voted for. For those of you out there who want to know, I didn't vote for Biden or Harris, and I didn't vote for 45 and Pence. I put down Petty P as a write-in. Petty P for president. And you see these comments that he's talking about? This is exactly why more black politicians are going to have to be vetted before you vote for them. Because many black people have learned from the mistake when it came to him, especially on that second term. On the first term, it was like, oh, it's historical, so we're like looking past it. Then the second term comes like, oh, maybe things will change. Shit just got worse. Quiet as it is kept, whether you want to believe it or not. But see, he's talking to black men, the least liked, most disliked, but most envied and copied person on the planet, especially if you are a black man born in America. Mind you, this guy has a Caucasian mother, a Caucasian grandmother, and his dad is from Kenya. He has no connection to us at all, except the fact that he can make a decent jump shot. And that's so stereotypical at that. The fact that people was getting so happy to see Barack Obama shoot a jump shot, as if they haven't seen thousands of black men shoot a jump shot every single day when they watch the NBA or college basketball or high school basketball, hell, even middle school basketball. But it was so great to see him do it because he was the president. We get swayed by the most ridiculous things. Just like with Kamala Harris coming down the steps wearing some fucking Chuck Taylors and Timberlands that weren't even constructs, as if you haven't seen black people wear those shoes all the time. He is such a hypocrite. The same rappers that he's talking about right here are the same ones that he was using or had around him. How many times did Jay-Z and Beyonce go up to that White House? How many times did they go to their concerts? How many times did they give them a shout out? And remember what Jay-Z used to talk about in his songs. Remember what Jay-Z used to do before he blew up, what he was doing. So Barack Obama, does that mean that you praise drug dealers? Do you praise those same video girls that he had in his video, and the drinks and the bling and all the stuff you're talking about right here? Do you praise that too? Because that's the same kind of rhetoric or the same narrative you had around you for 8 goddamn years. It took a long time for me to get to this point. And when I say to this point, I'm talking about to actually put my foot down and actually say what the fuck I really wanted to say about this man. And this article is bringing it all out of me. And I haven't even gotten through half the article, through the first paragraph yet, and I'm already pissed. But I'm not shocked. I'm actually not even disappointed, because he has shown his hand over the last few years. That Blue Lives Matter bill, the lack of response to the police brutality that many black people faced, all of that shit. Let me move on to the next paragraph. It's interesting. A lot of rap videos are using the same measures of what it means to be successful as Donald Trump is, he continued. Everything is gold-plated that insinuates itself and seeps into the culture. Recalling discussions with former First Lady Michelle Obama, the former president said their upbringing and middle-class backgrounds meant they weren't subject day-to-day to the sense that if you don't have this stuff, then you are somehow not worthy. America has always had a caste system, rich and poor, not just racially but economically, but it wasn't in your face most of the time when I was growing up, Obama said. Then you start seeing lifestyles of the rich and famous in that sense that you've either got Either you've got it or you're a loser. And Donald Trump epitomizes that cultural movement that is deeply ingrained now in American culture. See, now when he said that middle class part in which he and his wife grew up in, now it's almost like he's talking from a very elitist tone. Remember, this guy didn't grow up around black people like that. He probably didn't start really being around black people until he got with his wife. I think they were saying that Michelle Obama was like the first black woman that he's ever been with. That's saying something, considering he was an adult in his 20s when they met. So every other woman he's been with or girl he's been with prior to that has all been white. But like I said, look at who raised him. That plays a part. Just like when I think of this, I think of that story I just did about that former baseball player who murdered his dad, who was a black man, because he hated the black part of himself. Went on a whole rampage, killed his dad, his uncle, the security guy, and tried to kill his mother 2 years prior to that on 2 different occasions. But he had a lot of self-hate in him. Just like this guy on your screen has a lot of self-hate in him. He probably hates his dad. Notice he never talks about his dad, like ever. Ever. His dad could have probably been one of the best people in the world to him. But because his dad is a particular shade or a particular hue, he feels disconnected. Well, he's definitely disconnected from us. That's for damn sure. Look at his tone. Listen to what he's saying. Another reason Trump's rise caught Obama by surprise was his outsized presence on television, particularly stemming from his time hosting NBC's The Apprentice. I think that indicates the power of television in the culture that sometimes I miss because I don't watch a lot of TV, Obama said. I certainly don't watch reality shows. Now it almost seems like he's coming off jealous. Why? You made history. That's something, you did something that 45 and all these other palm-colored presidents before and most likely after you won't do. Be proud of that. Like, why would you need to be jealous or hate 45 because he was on a reality show? Especially when 45 had most of the smoke coming from himself to you as a form of jealousy. Now it's like the tables have flipped. But the thing is, Barack Obama is confused on how black men and how rappers gravitated toward 45 and not in that way towards him, when that's not the case. Maybe black men gravitated towards you for a different reason other than what they're gravitating towards 45 for. But see, black men are supposed to fall in line and do as everybody tells them to do. But the minute they get out of line and do their own thing, then it's a fucking problem. I put on Twitter not the other day, like a couple weeks ago, I said, black men are not your slaves. We will not move the way you want us to move. We will move however the fuck we want to move. And if you don't like it, we will mow your ass over and continue to move around you. Everybody has a lane. Black men are carving theirs out, finally, and doing it their way. That's why at this point, all you can do is just laugh when you hear shit like this. Or whenever you hear, because why do you think they keep propping up black women like that? And it's not even a hate thing. It's almost like they want to be in competition. It's not a competition, especially when the margin is not that wide. So black women had 91% voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but 87% of the men voted for them as well. And they tried to make it seem like it was this wide margin, like it was 91 for the women and like 70% for the men. But they just can't get over the fact that it was an increase of black men that voted for 45. And it was a small increase. They made it seem like it was doubled. It was I don't even think it was 10%, but they don't have none of that smoke for the increase of white women. They don't have that smoke for the increase of Latinos. If you took away the black male increase of votes, or even carved that in half, it would have slightly pretty much the same outcome. And they still won't talk about the increase of black women. Since we're talking about increases here, it shouldn't matter. Their numbers went up too. They went from like 6% to 9%. But they don't want to talk about that. They won't have the smoke for them. They don't have smoke for the Asians either. It's just us. And like I said, I didn't even vote for the guy. I didn't vote for him back then. I didn't even vote 4 years ago. And I didn't vote for him this time either. I didn't vote for Biden and Harris either. It's almost like they try to scare us into doing what they want us to do, like we are puppets or some kind of machine. I swear one of the scariest things that a black man can do in America as it stands today is have an opinion. Form his own opinion on things. Why do you think they don't come and talk to us about anything unless we are on some Roland Martin type shit? That's the only time they want to talk to us then. Other than that, they don't want to hear us. They wouldn't come and talk to someone like myself. They wouldn't come and talk to someone like Harvey. They wouldn't come and talk to someone like Professor Black Truth. They wouldn't come and talk to someone like the 1LVZ. They wouldn't come and talk to someone like Jason Black. And I can go on and on and on. Because we're going to keep it real and tell them about themselves. And that's one thing they don't want to hear is about who they are. They want someone who's going to kiss their ass on a daily basis. They have plenty of those out there to do that for them. But they're tired. But the truth be told, they're tired of them too. They want fresh meat. Let's see what else it says. And sometimes I miss things that were phenomena, but I thought there was a shift there. All I have to say, let me go ahead and read these little excerpts right here. It says, I have to remind myself that if you listen to rap music, all the bling, the women, and the money. Let me go back. I'm glad I have to go back and add this in. He says, if you listen to rap music, it's all about the bling, the money, and the women. Truth be told, Barack Obama, that not all rap music is just about that. That might be the music you listen to. Truth be told, I wonder what's in his playlist. I bet the same people he's having all this smoke for, all this fire, all this vitriol for are in his playlist somewhere. If we was to pull up his playlist right now, he bet not have one goddamn song up in that motherfucker that represents what he is speaking against. But you know what? Let's hypothetically say that none of that music is in his playlist. I bet you it's in his daughter's playlist. As a matter of fact, we know it is because there was a video that came out with about his younger daughter. I believe that's Malia Obama, when she had a Snapchat or a Instagram, whatever type of video it was, and she was rapping to Megan Thee Stallion, one of the most ratchetest women on the planet. Amazing he doesn't have smoke for her. Oh, I forgot. She's black and she's a woman. But she and Cardi B can collab and talk about their WAP. But because Cardi B wants to is supporting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we can just gloss over the fact that this woman is talking about her snatch. And that song was everywhere. So Barack Obama, you trying to tell me you didn't hear about that song? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Is that what you're trying to tell the people, that you did not hear about the WAP song? Excuse my vulgarity, but that WAP song probably turned your wife on, and y'all probably, you know, and that's fine. I'm sure a lot of people fucked to that song. But don't sit up here and say what you said because you don't like the outcome. At the end of the fucking day, your side won. I'll say it again. Your side won. Because as it's looking right now, it doesn't look like 45 is going to win any of these lawsuits or whatever that they got going on as it currently stands. So be happy. Your boy got in. Your girl got in. It shouldn't matter what black male voters did or did not do. Move the fuck on. Because God knows I have. And I'm not looking back. I'm glad. I'm so over this election because it literally brought out all kinds of weird auras and weird energy that I don't like. I can't believe that I actually shook this man's hand when I was, what year was that? When I was 19 years old. He came to my school when he was campaigning down in South Carolina. I think it was in September or maybe early October of that year. And he came to our school on a Saturday morning, a day that most people would sleep in, had most of the campus up and out there as if it was a regular school day or regular class day. And I shook this man's hand and couldn't believe it. If I could go back in time and tell my younger self what to expect of this individual, I would have kept my black ass in bed.